It is sure nice picking up these nukes when there's 3 to 3 success, because there's no work. I mean, you just pick them up, put them on the truck. There's no shifting around. This yard is all right. It's just like Christmas morning when you're going out and checking for acceptance. You know, open the lid, you're not sure what to expect. And when you see that present of lush frames of brood, it's very gratifying. 3 to 3 there, 3 to 3 there, 3 to 3 there. The center one was out, so I'll just have to find a spot. I'll have to find a hive to fill in that center one. These ones I can just load right up. So that's basically what I do. We go out to the yard and we just kind of shift things around. These ones pick up straight on the truck. These ones drop a success in the center, load them on the truck, and take them out to the yard. As viable units. So that uses up the cells for the season. I'm down to one more. Well, except for Thursday, we have another 90 coming at us just for emergency. But this is the last of the main graft. And we run extras, so I'd advertise these last ones, and they got snatched up pretty quick by guys. The best part about all this is talking bees with guys. I just love connecting with guys and talking about bees and all these things. And guys come here and they just want to talk about bees too. So it's a lot of fun selling stock to other guys. You know, the best thing about it is just touching base with everybody. But I come back, it's 8 o'clock, and I was out this morning moving nukes, picking the nukes up, moving them out to their yards. So I slipped back from the yard to sell these cells and get caught up talking to the beekeepers for quite a while about everything. And my bees wait for no one. They're up in flight. They're ready to go for the day. Just want to poke down into some of these hives. Maybe I'll poke down into one just to take a look at the nest to see what's going on. I can't spend too much time because these girls they're telling me that they want to get sit down and fly. Of course my smoker's out. I'll need my hive tool. They're not overly... Oh, did I forget my hive tool? Damn it. So I forgot my hive tool, but I got this little broken piece. Here's a good frame full of syrup or nectar. All of the above. Mature open brood. And circling its way out to eggs around the outside, we have pollen. Freshly stored pollen all the way around the rim, and then syrup or nectar around the edges. When you're assessing any type of colonies, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for groups of like aged brood. So whether it be eggs or different stages of larvae or capped brood, what you want to see is just groupings of the common aged larvae groupings of the common age brood. So I'm looking in this frame. Well, this is all eggs. So here, she's obviously started here. And this is all the same age larvae, about, you know, 4 days after she laid it. And as it goes out, we're getting into egg stage. She's kind of worked her way out like this. And she's done the same on both sides. Mature brood here, this is probably where she started laying. So this is very close to being capped, moving out to a little bit younger, and then eggs around the outside. So very well organized. That's a sign of a really good queen, and that's a sign of a good nest as it's being developed. So I find it important that when I'm casting out duties for my crew, that I still, you know, that kind of removes me from a lot of the work that's being done in these hives. And that's not good, because if you're not down in your hives, you don't know exactly what's going on. So I like going around, especially on the weekend when I'm to myself, poking down randomly into colonies, just looking to see what's going on, seeing the status. And that way I can kind of see what my workers are seeing, and I can relay work more suited to what's going on within the colonies. And the feedback I get from my workers, I can make more sense of it. No, I'm not going to find her. She is phantom on me today. I need Carrie to find her for me. But she is doing an absolute amazing job. And she's not going to be found. Okay, I'm going through the builder yard. It's shut down now. We have, these two are still going, these front two, but all the other 6 over here I'm shutting down. So I'm just turning them into 6s. Some of the failed units, I'm just filling them up with bees again. So I want to show you what I'm seeing here. My builder is made up of 2 boxes. It's a queenless unit. It's a starter finisher queenless unit. The top is where all the magic happens. Down here in the bottom is a box full of foundation. Do it for 2 reasons. One thing, it's easier to manage these hives in doubles, working on top, so you have to bend over in that awkward position all the time. So this kind of raises up the work up a little bit. It's not as hard on your back. But the bottom is just a place to hang bees. And I like to put a lot of bees within my builders, because you want those young bees of every single stage all the way through to be able to properly draw out those queen cells, right? So to do that, you just give them a lot of young bees. Those young bees will be hanging out the front if you don't do anything with them. And that's no good, because it actually puts them vulnerable to rain and all this kind of stuff like that. I want to keep them in their house. So I hang them below in the foundation. And one thing that does also is it also gives a place for the hive, which is supercharged with young bees. Just gives them a place to put that wax that they're developing. We want them to draw a lot of wax out, because we're drawing a lot of cells. So we want them, you know, flush with wax. We're promoting all the conditions to draw out that wax, but we don't want webbing in between the cells. And one way to help prevent that is, well, keep that graft frame really tight as you can to the side frame, as tight as you can. That helps. But the other thing is to provide frames of foundation, just to give them a place to drop all that energy. And I don't like to put the foundation within the builder here, because I don't like to break up the integrity of cluster, regardless if it's in a mature hive or if it's in a builder. I mean, we want the environment around that brood type environment to stay intact. And by dropping frames of graft in, just a lot of open space, it's already interrupting with all those space dynamics. So I don't like to put foundation in within the cluster. We'll put it on the sides or on the bottom. So what we got here is the bottom box here. I'm just going through, and as you can see, there's frames drawn out of wax. nicely drawn out too. I mean, these girls were supercharged and they just did a masterful job. The other thing I'm seeing, this is really important, this is loaded full of pollen. Now that is gold in a builder. So what's going on there is because my nest is up on top, all that space on the bottom, they're drawing that wax out. As they're doing that, those bees, those forager bees coming from the field, bringing in their pollen, as the cells are being drawn out, they're kicking that pollen into those cells right in the bottom. And that's the natural thing for them to do. That's one of the advantages of running doubles, is you get this huge surplus of pollen in the bottom which you can use later. In this case, in a builder setup, they're just filling these frames full of pollen, which I need to build out these high quality queen cells. So they have all the pollen they need. They have all the pollen from every type of flower they were able to collect from out there. They brought it in, they're storing it there, and because that cluster, that nest, utilizes both boxes, they're able to bring that protein up on demand. Super cool. Works really well. And right now all I'm doing is, because these units are done now, I'm just breaking them, not breaking them into too many splits, I'm just going 2. So I've just got 2 6-frame nukes here, some brood comb and such in there just to help stick them to the box, and I'm just shaking all the bees back in there. I'll come back maybe later tonight, or I don't know. Those cells don't come ready till Thursday, so we have some time. I'll probably just let them chill out here for a little bit, but then I'll move them out to the mating yards, bring right to the front, drop some cells into them, and see if we can establish some nice little nukes out of all this surplus bees. It's Father's Day today, and I'm taking the Sunday off. I set up the camper just in the yard, made a little campsite. Kids have started a fire. We slept there last night, had morning breakfast, kind of slept in a little bit, drank some coffee. We're set up right beside the little piggies, so they woke us up this morning wanting their morning chop. But here I am at the honey house. I'm unloading these hives that got overwhelmed by ants, because I see a little bit of robbing going on here. Moving them into the honey house. Here I am on my day off on Sunday, and I'm still lifting bloody honey boxes. Just can't seem to get away from work. And this is one of the reasons why I like getting away to Lake of the Woods, where I can't just slip back and do a few things. It's one of those curses of being a farmer. You're always geared. But I'm gonna move these out, in. I'm gonna move them off the truck, away from the bees, into the honey house, and then go enjoy the fire. I'll deal with these boxes tomorrow, maybe get the crew to. That is that. Now time to go work on the boat.